Happy Friday, everybody. It's hashtag FAQ Friday live from Birmingham. And this week's frequently asked question has come from a number of organisations who are currently getting ready for the winter, as we call it, or the slow season. And cash flow has become a bit of a problem. And FSB has actually started to urge the government to act on large businesses who are late payers, because it is actually having a detrimental effect on lots of small businesses, but it does have a detrimental effect on all businesses, and actually 50,000 businesses go under each year because of late payment of invoices, because the cash flow is crippled because of it. So the other thing as well is, in the last 3 months, more than 54% of small firms have been the victim of late payments. And as the economic crisis seems to start to increase and winter is coming in full throttle, we've got to start looking at your cash flow, and you've got to. So I'm going to help and support you now and give you some top tips what to do. Obviously, you've got to know your numbers. So many business owners don't know the numbers, but it's not just about the profit, it's about the cash element in the business. And there is a lot of confusion with regard to that. You've got to know your numbers. You've got to make sure that you have a real strategy and plan to make sure that you can last the winter or the slow season or the winter in your business. So look at things like check to increase your credit terms on suppliers. So if you have suppliers, see if you can increase the credit terms. Just have the communication of how you'd like to work together to actually mitigate the risk, but also to help and support both of you to last throughout the winter season in business. So it's really important to really look at reducing costs now, or cut costs, and make sure that you are fully aware of how to do that. Collect outstanding receivables, especially in the corporate world. It's amazing how many large companies, are 90 plus days in debt to businesses, especially in the hospitality world. It's crazy. The other element of that as well is, if you have a deposit account, try not to spend it. The amount of businesses who use the deposit account to deal with their cash flow issues, but if anything happens, what happened in the pandemic when that hit, those businesses that did that went under. It was as simple as that. They literally went under because they had no cash flow, they had no cash to be able to return deposits when the pandemic hit, and it really had a knock-on effect. So really keep those accounts separate, and please do not spend them. Improve internal controls. Make sure that you have controls in all element of your cash flow. Increase prices if you can, and it's difficult for some businesses because you're reducing prices, but you've got to look at how you can increase elements of your business, but so it doesn't actually impact on your customers at all, in a negative way, because added value is really important. But really think about your ideal client on that, and what your unique selling point is. And if your ideal client is already on the breadline, that wouldn't be an option for you. But increase credit as well, and reduce and tighten control on your inventory. Don't go bulk buying. Make sure your teams are aware. Make sure you're training and developing your team so that they're not going saying that I've got a very special deal, however it's going to take you under. So make sure that you're very clear with that. And shorten due date on receivables. See how you can look at different contracts and speak to your customers of of how you can shorten the due date. Ideally, it's not on your present customers, it's on your new customers. Actually, shorten the due date on the receivables, and build up operating reserves. That is a goal you need to be doing all the time. Even if it's building up from nothing to 2 weeks, and then another bite-sized chunks to a month, and then do it really, really slowly if you can. But start with that strategy and plan to make sure that you have the ability to have cash in your business. And set up monthly returning contracts if possible. Go back to your customers who've always loved you, know you, really enjoy buying from you, your products, facilities or services. Really look at getting in contact with them, communicate with them, see where they're at, see if they're interested in working with you again, and see how you can help and support them, because it's all about serving, not selling. Some areas are really flourishing right now, and see how you can actually build new income streams and build a reserve for yourself that keeps you strong financially, keeps the cash strong, because it's all right having a large profit margin, but if you've no cash in your business, that's when people go under, especially if you've got a VAT invoice or anything like that potentially could be coming up. The other thing about VAT, make sure you put that separate in your business, because so many people forget, and then it just creeps up on them, and suddenly they've got a large VAT bill, and it starts to impact them financially quite severely. And that happened a lot in the pandemic as well. So really look at how you can put some operating reserves away, and really look at how you can improve your cash flow, so that you will be financially secure throughout the winter season. Hope that's helped. As always, happy Friday everybody, and have a great weekend. Take care. Thank you. Bye bye.